Man of Steel, the first movie in the DC Extended Universe, came out in 2013 and was directed by Zack Snyder. His previous works include 300, Watchmen, and Sucker Punch. And in the main role is Henry Cavill as Superman, plus other big names like Russell Crowe and Kevin Costner. Man of Steel tells the origin story of Superman and adds the Zod story to it. You could call this a combination of the first two Christopher Reeve Superman movies, Superman and Superman 2. I can't remember when I first heard about this movie, but I do remember seeing a trailer of Man of Steel in front of the first Hobbit during the Christmas time. And I think it was the second trailer because when I checked from YouTube, it came around that time when the first Hobbit came out. But I wasn't really excited about this movie. I knew it was coming, and only like a week or two before I finally went to see it, I kind of like started to read the news and watch the other trailers and what other stuff uh, came about this movie. That summer, I was more excited about Pacific Rim, although it was still 2 or 3 months away. But yeah, I didn't really have any big expectations for this movie. I saw it the opening day. Um, I think it was like one of the first screenings in Finland for the movie at that time. So I saw Man of Steel, and I have to say, I was a bit shocked. I remember thinking, like halfway through the movie, that is this it? Is this how this movie is gonna be? Like action, action, action. I was just thinking, holy shit, movie, calm the fuck down, let me breathe. It felt like it went from action scene to other huge, epic, explosive action scene, and god damn it, holy shit. When I left the theater, I was like, that's one of the worst pieces of shit I've ever seen. What a waste of money and time. I didn't feel the characters. I thought the pacing was poor, and I just thought it did so many things wrong. And I felt that it just didn't understand what Superman really is. I really like the Christopher Reeve Superman movies, but it's kind of stupid to compare Man of Steel to those movies. But that sense of awe, that sense of wonder, it was all gone from Man of Steel. It was just, I used to call it a CGI crap fest, and yeah, just how I felt when I stepped out of the theater first time. I thought the movie was too gritty, too dark. It tried too much to be like the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight trilogy. Actually, Christopher Nolan was producing Man of Steel. That's interesting. But I don't think Superman really fits into this so serious toned movie. I think it should be more upbeat, more more happy, not too much, but have more humor there. This was just too fucking serious. But even then, I had to admit that the stuff that happened in Krypton, that was actually pretty promising, and Krypton looked very interesting, and I thought it was actually pretty exciting. And one of others working like strong point in the movie is Zod, and Zod was played by Michael Shannon. I thought he really nailed the role. Uh, the best character in the movie, in my opinion. Russell Crowe played Jor-El, and well, what do I have to say about that? It was okay. I mean, he did his job well, and that's fine. Nothing really noteworthy. Uh, Amy Adams played Lois Lane. Again, nothing really interesting. I actually thought her scenes with Superman were kind of didn't really work. There wasn't really any chemistry there. Kevin Costner as Clark Kent's dad, um, yet again did his job, but nothing really to say about that. I think Henry Cavill and Michael Shannon did the best job. The movie actually has a lot of flashbacks. Those are not a problem to me, but I've noticed those are a problem to some people. There were actually flashbacks in Batman v Superman, and apparently there are flashbacks also in Suicide Squad. I don't really know why this flashback thing. Why is this a thing in these DC movies? There were some dumb choices made in the movie and dumb scenes. I think the dumbest scene in the movie, and I think many can agree with me, is that scene involving Kevin Costner and a tornado. I thought that was just really stupid. And now comes to my mind, there were a lot of scenes that were supposed to be dramatic, were supposed to make you feel something, but I just couldn't feel anything. And the problem in that was that I just didn't feel the characters. I didn't care about them enough to have some kind of emotion when something dramatic happens. Okay. Um, I've seen Man of Steel twice. First time in a movie theater, the opening day, and the second time a few days before I went to see Batman v Superman. So I saw Man of Steel like it must have been already like 3 months ago, 3 or 4 months ago. So it has been a while I'm making this review, but I think I can remember most stuff I want to talk about. I actually rented the movie. I physically rented Man of Steel. I haven't physically rented anything in a long time, in years. So it was fun. And it was actually on DVD because at the time I watched it, I actually didn't have a Blu-ray player yet. Now I have one. Okay. The greatest thing is that I actually liked Man of Steel more the second time I saw it. And I think that's always a great thing. I really wanted to like Man of Steel the first time. I just couldn't. But now I could because I think I knew what was coming, so I wasn't as shocked. And I could also like try to find the good movie inside that mess. And I think I was able to find bits and pieces and combine it into one thing. And honestly, it felt good during the end credits. I was like, yes, I didn't hate this. I didn't think it was great. It was okay or slash good. So let's talk about the positive things. What comes to my mind first? The music by Hans Zimmer. I think this is a great soundtrack. I didn't think that the first time I saw it, but now and I've actually just recently listened to the soundtrack on YouTube, and I just think there are some really good tunes in there. Very powerful soundtrack. So the first point goes to Hans Zimmer. Uh, and well, at the time I thought, like in 2013, the special effects, the CGI, it was good. Um, and the destruction was, I mean, it looked cool. I still think there is too much of it, but it looked cool. Although now, when I saw it in 2016, I have to say it has not aged that well. I know it's ridiculous. Like, the movie is 3 years old, and the special effects are already looking kind of fake in few parts. But yeah, that's just as how it is in this movie. But at the time, it looked good. So again, I think it's a positive thing. I couldn't really follow the action that well the first time I saw it in a theater, but from a smaller screen, I thought the fight scenes were actually pretty cool. They reminded me of Dragon Ball Z, and this movie would have absolutely kicked ass and nailed the fight scenes if this was like a live action Dragon Ball Z movie. I wish the real Dragon Ball live action movie would have been that good. I already mentioned that I liked the Krypton stuff, so that's another a positive thing. Let's talk about Henry Cavill as Superman. Uh, I thought he did a good job, but I need to see him more in the future DC movies to really like form my opinion. So I guess that's can't really be a positive thing. But okay, I say he did his job as well as he could, so that's kind of a positive thing. I also already mentioned Michael Shannon as Zod. That's a great thing in the movie. Zack Snyder really handles the visual part of the films really well, and in this one too, I think the cinematography is really good looking, and the set designs also. They work. They really look nice. So another positive thing there, and I think that's pretty much it. The film is visually very good looking, and as I say, I think this is a movie where style is over substance. Style over substance. This is that kind of movie. And I think a lot of other Zack Snyder movies are like that. Style over substance. That's not a good thing. There needs to be something more than just visuals. I can see there is a good movie hidden in Man of Steel. There really is that. There are good ideas. There are things that really like could work if maybe the movie would have been given extra minutes and well obviously cut some stuff out that wasn't necessary or something like that. Uh, it's a sad thing that this movie doesn't have a extended version. I wish it would have, like Batman v Superman, which I'm going to talk about in my next review. Uh, Actually, there are scenes that are seen in the trailers that are not in the movie, so there really was a lot of stuff cut out. I wish they would have. I just wish they would make an extended version in the future, but I think that's very unlikely. Right now, when I'm recording this, yesterday came news that Man of Steel is getting a sequel. Man of Steel 2 is now in active production. Oh no, sorry, active development. But yeah, I think that's it. The first time I saw the movie, I gave it the first time I saw the movie, I gave it 2 out of 5. But the second time I saw the movie, I have to lean more towards 3 out of 5. Um, but I think it's a weaker 3 out of 5. Um, there's, like I said, I repeat myself. I know, I'm sorry. I repeat myself too much, but there is there's a good movie there, but I think the execution wasn't that great. I think that's it. Wraps it up, and yeah, my next review will be Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, where I will talk about the theatrical and the Ultimate Edition. Stay tuned.